Hi, I'm Vineet Dixit. Over the period of so many decades, I've observed as to why companies fail, especially medium and small companies. Apart from many other reasons, one major reason is lack of effective sales strategy. While the entrepreneurs and business leaders have a wonderful product and a great company that they have formed around that product, it is the poor sales strategy which leads to low revenues and major cash burnout over the period of time, which leads to company failures. In this video, I am going to take you through the entire process of how to create your sales strategy, what are the fundamentals of sales strategy, and how you build upon those fundamentals to have a clear and solid sales strategy for your business. Before we move forward, please subscribe to my channel. If subjects of business strategy and marketing are of interest to you, whether you are an entrepreneur, sales leader, or just a curious onlooker who wants to understand this subject. Before moving further, I'm assuming that your product strategy is in place, your pricing strategy is done with, and you have your product on pricing on your table before you move ahead towards creating a sales strategy. For better understanding of sales strategy, I suggest that you go through the entire video, and whichever point is not clear to you, stop there, review the video once again, go back, look at it, and then move forward. It is very important that you understand each step thoroughly before you move on to the next step. After all, it is the matter of your sales and revenue, which is the fundamental of any business. For effective sales strategy, there are three fundamental questions that you need to ask and keep asking time and again. What is your product? Who's your customer? And how does your customer like to buy? As a sales leader, the first thing that you do is at the year beginning, you decide on the revenue that you need to bring in. That is the sales target. Then you further decide on the number of customers that you need to close, the deals that you need to close to generate that kind of revenue. So number of deals multiplied by average ticket size of those deals is equal to the revenue that you generate. Break these numbers off, revenue target and the deals to be closed target on monthly basis, then go on weekly basis. And further, these numbers have to be divided amongst your salespeople. Who has to do what, how much? And for effective tracking mechanism, the expectation has to be set on weekly basis, and the tracking of the same has to be thorough, regular and on consistent basis. Now that you have decided on your revenue target, we come to our second step. You have to work on who is your customer, from where are you going to generate this kind of revenue, what is the sales channel that you need to build so as to ensure that you tap your customers effectively and efficiently. Identifying the right customer is very important in your sales strategy after you have done effective slicing and dicing of your markets. For example, you're selling a product which is of value of 3.5 lakhs. Unless you and your sales team are absolutely clear about who your target customers are, your sales team might commit this mistake of targeting the prospects who are not even at the level of that earning. Once you have identified who your right customer is, the next step has to be how your customer likes to buy. What are his buying preferences? For example, your customer would not want a direct salesperson to be visiting his home for sales of soap, and that is not even financially viable for you as a company. So learn more about your customer's operating methods, whether he loves to go online, offline, goes to a shop, or to a nearby mom and pop store, or to mall. How does your customer like to buy? This will determine the sales channel that you should be focusing on to tap those customers. From your experience and market research, you will very clearly understand as to how these customers would like to buy your product, the level of understanding or expertise they require the salesperson to have, and nuances of regulatory environment around your product and the industry. So now you have finalized your revenue targets, you have identified your customer and the sales channel. You will need to move to the third step, building an efficient sales process to hit your numbers. At this point, you need to identify the steps that your sales team can follow or has to follow to complete a sale. This is called the sales process. With the type of customers and the sales channel you have chosen, decide on the roadmap ahead along with the checkpoints. Sales process is the number of steps that you want your salesperson to take from the first step of prospect generation to the sales close and then further referral generations and relationship building. The stages you choose and the milestones and the checkposts will depend on the customer and the channel. The sales process could be around the following steps which I am suggesting below. The prospect generation, how you qualify the prospect, research around the prospect as to who the prospect is, what does he like or dislike, how does he buy, what are his needs or her needs, and the kind of questions your sales team should be asking your prospect to further qualify whether the prospect deserves your time and effort or not. After the research on the prospect, pitch that you intend to create for your prospect. After the sales pitch, the objections and the objection handling techniques that you want your sales team to follow. After overcoming the objections, how do you want your sales team to move towards close? And then how do you expect your team to further nurture and keep selling to that particular customer and the references thereof? In due period of time, I will be creating different videos to have a further in-depth study of each of these steps. To keep getting notification on my videos, do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Now that you have defined your customer, your product, their price, and your sales process, the fourth step toward building your sales strategy is how do you intend to work on your sales funnel? The sales funnel starts with the number of prospects that you begin with, and it is like an inverse pyramid. So prospects will take you to deals. You need to begin with filling up your sales funnel with the sales prospect from the top. Based on the product, the average cost, the average revenue that you expect, and the number of deals you require, start building on the prospects. For example, your past experience has shown you that for each sale that your salesperson closes, he or she needs to have 4 qualified prospects. To get to those 4 qualified prospects, he or she needs to have 7 or 8 raw leads. In other words, you have your conversion ratios with you. Meeting 20 people will get to 8 leads, will further get to 4 prospects, and will further get to 1 sale. And now you know that 1 closed deal with an average ticket size is equal to what kind of revenue for you. So you can work on these ratios. For 2 sales, you will need 8 prospects, 16 leads, and so on and so forth. So work on your sales funnel aggressively and get your sales team to that. Sales funnel is very critical towards consistent sales closure and revenue generation. The 5th step as a sales leader that you need to take. You've decided on your customer, you've initiated on your targets and the revenue plans, your sales funnel has started to work. The next step is to improve as you go. As you roll out your sales strategy, the sales process is on, your sales team is working on creating the sales funnel, the prospects are being generated, the leads are getting in, the closures are happening, and your sales funnel is getting filled with cold leads, warm prospects and hot deals. Revenue is getting generated. At the same time, your team will face a lot of disruptions, a lot of resistance, and a lot of challenges in the market. So it is very critical and important that you continue monitoring your sales funnel, your sales processes, the ratios from the cold lead to warm prospects to hot deals. What are the things that are not going as per expectations, and what are the things that are delivering more than you expected? Keep studying, keep adjusting, keep making course corrections. Let's say there is a situation where most of your prospects are facing cash crunch. Then you need to immediately switch to low price, high volume sales. And for some reason, if you observe that cash flow is pretty strong in the market, you can create specialized teams for high cost, low volume sales. You should be ready with plan B, plan C. What are the frills in your products that you can add or delete on immediate basis? So in brief, I have discussed with you how the sales strategy is prepared and what are the broad points that you need to take care of. Segmenting, channeling, pipeline creation, course correction, reference generation. There are a lot of things which go into creation of successful sales strategy. However, the good thing is that we have a lot of technological tools these days. A good sales leader has to focus on a lot of data, the data that is generated from the market, from within the organization. Make friends with effective analytical tools for data generation, collation, management, and creation of inferences out of that data. Your strategy and each of your tactical moves has to be data-based, not emotion-based. Creating and implementing a good, effective sales strategy is like a James Bond's job. Creating your car while driving the same. You should be hitting your numbers while creating the machinery which is working for the sales. And when in doubt, come back to your basics. Who is your customer? What are your products? And how does your customer like to buy? When you have answers to these fundamental questions, you can be very sure that you are on the right track. Wishing you a wonderful sales strategy ahead. And if you have not subscribed to my channel till now, please do the same. And you may even write a mail to me on my mail ID which is mentioned in the description. Keep learning, keep growing.